Here comes the Dax. Here comes the Casher. Shades of the Midnight from North Carolina. They started with great pro wrestling that set the stage. I'm John Rectum with my review of AEW Dynamite from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It started with great pro wrestling and ended with a car crash and a half. Holy fucking shit. Do I have a lot of thoughts? Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. Of course, since it's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they broke out the EC chants. Naturally, since Philadelphia was the home of ECW for many, many years, and ECW still, it rings true for everybody. Everybody still fondly remembers ECW for good, bad, or indifferent. What are your favorite moments of ECW? Let me know those as well. So normally you get the AEW Dynamite reviews hours later, like sometimes Thursday morning, afternoon. I had some thoughts that I really wanted to share, and I didn't want to wait. Didn't even want to sleep, because sleep is for the weak. So anyway, huge pop for Punk right off the bat. He joins commentary, and we get the FTR entrance. They come out of separate tunnels. That was a nice touch. And big FTR chance. Huge FTR chance. This was a big fucking deal. I was really, really looking forward to this. Dax and Cash, two tag team partners. They hold two tag team championships, and them getting a chance to be just in a qualifier, though I feel that they should have already been in the tournament. Give them a quality win and have them. I just feel like they could have done this a little bit better. But as far as a match, it was fucking tremendous. Of course it was fucking tremendous, because these two are so goddamn talented. They're students of the game. They're fucking tremendous pro wrestlers. They're great on their own. They're even better together. They're the best goddamn tag team going today, in my personal opinion. And I did like how Punk said they've beaten everybody, but can they beat themselves? Giggity. So, Dax and Cash, Owen qualifier. Punk provided great insight. This meant a lot to FTR. They had Owen Hart-inspired tights. I'm not going to go over every single goddamn move, but I'm just going to say this was fucking tremendous. This wasn't... It was close to what Dax and Punk did, and they were trying to recreate what Brett and Owen did to open Mania 10, and even did a spot that was the finish in that match, but wasn't the finish in this one. So we did get a thumb to the eye at one point, and Cash was a little bit upset and started getting a little bit upset at Dax. And Cash was a little bit more heelish. We got some corner chops. We got a high superplex of both sold. That was very good. We do see Cash targeting the back and get some near falls. The victory roll attempt that Owen countered to pin Bret Hart at Mania 10. Well, the victory roll counter didn't quite work, just a 2 count, and then we get a nice pile driver. I don't mind the pile driver being utilized here and there, and these two are professionals. I have no issue with them breaking it out here. And fight forever chance, stupid idea. Nobody should be fighting forever. Look back at the results. Study your history back before wrestling, got time limits and became more of a work, so to speak, and they didn't try to make it where, matches went on forever. Some matches went on for 2 to 3 to 4 fucking hours. There is no reason to fight forever. I know it's just a silly little thing, but it is what it is. Get a big backdrop off the top for 2. Crossbody spill to the floor. Cash hurt his knee, or did he hurt his knee? Was he playing possum? We would get a delayed sharpshooter, and Dax can't do it, but then Cash tries to roll him up, but Dax counters it. 1, 2, 3. Great pro wrestling match. Terrific way to kick it off, and the crowd popped. Emotional afterwards. FTR chants. They got to beat Jurassic Express at Double or Nothing. They have to hold 3 tag team championships. Even if they drop the AAA or the Ring of Honor tag titles, soon after that, they will hold 3 championships. That's the kind of belt collector stuff you could actually do, because these two guys are actual wrestlers. So anyway, Punk grabs the mic. He puts over FTR and says, well, when I walked here, I asked, can I still do this? I want to keep the action going, but I got to say this. I can still do this. Hell yes, I can still do this. This has just been me warming up. I can't promise that I'll win the World Championship, but I will give you 100% in that I will always bet on myself, since we're going to be in Vegas, and I'll keep going until the wheels fall off. That Page is going to know that he's in a fight, and I hope that Hangman Page recovers from his battle. He's apparently, tested positive, so hopefully he recovers as quickly as possible and to 100%. If he needs to have the next couple shows off, that's fine. They can do video packages, whatever. And they can build this up for the next couple weeks, leading into the pay-per-view. I'm looking forward, though. Punk versus Page. That's going to be something big. So, Lambert and Sky pre-tape. Apparently, they're the faces in this whole thing. And Danielson makes his entrance. He's having a blast. Wheeler gets new music and gets a huge pop. Good fucking grief. Philadelphia loves themselves some Wheeler because he's from there. Huge pop. Wild Thing, you make Philly sing, literally, because they were. Blackpool Combat Club took on the Factory. Yay, I get to see a QT Marshall match. Be still my beating. Sorry, fell asleep for a second. QT still wrestling. Why? I did watch Suzuki beat him on Dark Elevation. Look, for anybody asking, there have been people mostly asking on Twitter. Here's why I don't review Dark Elevation and Dark anymore. It's gotten to the point where some of the matches aren't bad and actually are worth watching, but the shows themselves are not worth reviewing. And they're trying to juice those things up, actually, because the views in general have just gone down significantly. I don't know what kind of action or, what kind of attention they expect to get with endless squash matches, but they've shortened the shows, I will say that much. Off of that, so Blackpool Combat Club versus the Factory. Regal joins commentary. Good Lord, Utah's over is what I wrote down. And Danielson got the hot tag. He had some kicks, a nice dive, and then drop kicked right to freaking Solo's face when he tried to jump on, he tried to jump off and boom, right to the face. Looked painful. Wheeler got tagged, but then got bealed a few times, and then this is what Wheeler needs. He needs to be thrown around with big, strong, horrible men. Regal, you okay over there? So we get 2 submissions, and Wheeler clubs Camarado and rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. He rolls him up with something. I don't know what the fuck they called it, but he got the victory. Huge pop. Big deal. This was cool. And then Shivani interviews Tony, Jamie, and Britt. Same as it ever was, except this time with Ruby. Jamie Hayter, my fucking goodness. This is kind of awkward. We're probably going to get a tag match at some point. I don't know who's going to win the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. It could be Britt. I don't think Tony Storm's got to win it, but we'll see. So we do another pre-tape with Jurassic Express and Christian Cage with Tony Schiavone and Cage. Gets in a few shots, says, because Jungle Boy says he wasn't able to win. He should have put O'Reilly away when he could have. Cage says, you're treating yourself like a loser. Well, you sound like you want to sound like a sore loser. No, you just sound like a loser, but you're not a loser. Put that title over your shoulder. Little things there. Cage is going to end up either costing them the tag team championships inadvertently, or is going to turn on Jungle Boy OEO right on the next Dynamite. And I mean the next Dynamite after the pay-per-view, that is. So, he says he's throwing out a challenge to any of the top 5 ranked teams. And here comes Hobbs and Starks. And okay, I'm for this. My question is do you give them the titles and don't give them the FTR? Because who do you beat out of that? Do you have Lee come out and do a distraction, despite the fact that everybody should be able to see Keith Lee come from a mile away because he's a massive individual? It'll be interesting to see what they do. So, does Jake the Snake know where he is? Because it seems like he just got woken up and has no idea. I know he's sober, but he seems very confused. Huge boost for MJF, and he's in the skybox. I'm seeing a lot of women here, and he says to Spirits, you know what women in Philly use for birth control? Their personalities. Ha 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 ha. I never met any women from Philly, so I have no idea. I imagine it's true. Sorry to anybody in Philly that happens to be watching this. And no music for Wardlow, but he gets big chance. It's Wardlow versus Lance Archer. Lance jump starts right after Wardlow gets the handcuffs off. In fact, I think that they were delaying a little bit too long, where they couldn't quite figure it out. And then Archer jumps on everybody, and then Wardlow, is a little bit wobbly, but manages to uncork a freaking head scissors. Just like that was impressive. That was very, very impressive. And Wardlow was feeling it, and then Archer takes over, hits the rope walk. We get a choke slam for 2. We get the blackout, but he gets that countered into a crucifix. This wasn't bad. Wardlow does his senton for 2. It wasn't the best thing. They've done mostly right with this stuff with Wardlow and MJF. And then Powerbomb Symphony, the crowd just roars more and more and more. He finally hits a 4th one. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming, Lance Archer. Just gets destroyed. And then, there you go. He gets led away in the handcuffs. MJF is pissed. Spears is still Sean Spears. The Jericho Appreciation Society, the Huge Ass Society, as it were, they tried to throw out, sports entertainers are best for business, and AEW Galaxy, a play on the WWE Universe. WWE Universe is stupid, so making fun of something stupid, especially when it's Jericho, of all people, who hasn't had a good original idea in a number of years, thinks that, oh, this is creative. No, not really. It's just kind of sad and pathetic. Eddie is over. Santana Ortiz got off a few good barbs. They did the flipping off thing. Yay, this is funny. They're really, Eddie, you could tell, just wanted to freaking rip into Jericho, but they had no physicality, could not be physical. And Jericho says that they are going to put a hit out on them, and he says, you know what that means, Chris? You know what that means? I can smell the fear. You talk about putting a hit on people. We've actually done it. Well, can you do it? Nah, I don't think so. There you go. That's pretty much summarized. This is where the show started to end, because I know they're intending to do the over-the-top stuff. It's still not very good. Speaking of not very good, Sammy and Ty with a pre-tape. So, hello, Sheeta. Good fucking God, Sheeta looked great. She took on noted Marty Scurll defender Serena Deeb. Look, I don't care who the fuck you are, and I don't care how you get down. When you get with somebody that is a known piece of shit and you want to marry them, you get that smell right on you. And even if not, Serena Deeb is a very good pro wrestler. People say they compare her to Dean Malenko. Here's the thing: Dean Malenko was capable of showing personality. Deeb, I just don't believe it with her. Deeb's very good in the ring. It was a Philly street fight. I'm glad they gave them some time. I have not been that interested in this feud since one of the, I think the third match that they had, and this is the fifth match. Deeb targets a knee. We get chairs in the ring, and she gets powder in the eye, so Sheeta's blinded. Then she gets water in the eye, so she's fine. Stiff drop kick off the steps. That looked brutal. And then holy Sheeta chants, and there were kendo stick shots. There was a choke. David Carradine was smiling from wherever he is. He got roped into his last few rolls, especially his last one. And we get the Deeb talks on the chair for 2, and then the Cloverleaf for the win. So Serena Deeb wins. Okay, if they're going to feature Serena Deeb, fine, but they usually you have the face go over, so what are they going to do? 2 more matches to make it a best of 7? It already feels like they've stretched this fucking thing out a little bit too long. It was fine for what it was. I just don't find Serena Deeb that interesting. And also she had to get this match over quicker because she had to go around to school because her husband isn't allowed near them. So anyway, MJF and Spears are backstage. He yells at Lexi. I don't know why, but it was funny. He makes a phone call. Hey, big man, how would you like to make 6 figures in 1 match? I found a guy bigger than you, stronger than you, taller than you. And you can't teach that. They're going to bring in Big Cass, and I've seen some of the stuff that he's done in Impact Wrestling. As far as, stuff he went through, he turned his life around. He's still a goddamn red-blooded piece of shit, and you know what I mean by red blood. He'll fit right in with Jericho and Hager. As far as, talking about what they could have done on January 6th. I wonder what Jericho's wife and mother-in-law did on January 6th. Oh, people don't like when I say that. Well, too fucking bad. I'm going to keep saying it. But yeah, Big Cass, great, good. I've seen some of the stuff he's done in Impact. He looks great, and he's still, he's William H. Morrissey. He's the band Morrissey. That's what he is. I know that he, supposedly has turned around what he's done, but guess what? Where he was, but even in 2018, he's still the same guy that wasn't very good in the ring to begin with. So, we get a spotlight on Del Sol. He's out cold. And then here's Alex Abrahantes, Alex the Priest. And he's swaying around back and forth and everything in the ring, but they're not really shooting his face, telegraphing the fuck out of this, like we're doing Morse code. We're just waiting for the right time to blindside you. Here's Penta, here's Pac, and then there's Alex. And Alex is dressed normally. Maybe they're going to get away from him being Alex the Priest. And who's under the priest cap? Oh my God, it's Phoenix. Phoenix is back. I'm impressed that he got back so soon, considering his arm was just flopping around like crazy. It's been a few months, but still, the fact that he is back as soon as he was is a miracle. And holy shit chance, everybody popped, and I hope that he slows down a little bit because the human body can only take so much. The awkwardness with the shovel and Matthews is a little bit weird. dies by the death triangle, and we're getting this match, likely at the pay-per-view. I would be very surprised if they don't try to just nurse this out for the pay-per-view. So, okay, fine for what it was. Phoenix is back, and I hope he's healthy. So Swerve is going to take on Darby in a qualifier, and Swerve is more heelish, and Darby says AEW is Darby's house. Okay, I saw what these two could do in Defy. In fact, it was Swerve's last Defy match before he went to WWE, NXT, and they proceeded to do very little of note with him, unfortunately, despite how talented and charismatic he is. If they are allowed to do even 60% of that on Rampage, then we're in for something good. Hopefully, it will be the main event. So, the Super Elite, it's the Young Bucks with Brandon Cutler for whatever unknown reason. And the Red Rim Dragon and Adam Cole, baby, taking on Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes with Arn and Julia Hart on the step. They are just going to have her sit there and everything, and eventually they'll remember, shit, we need to do something with the whole Mist thing. I hope that Darius Martin recovers. Apparently he had some kind of injury. He said it didn't happen in the ring. Whatever happens, I hope he's going to be all right. Unfortunately, with some people, once the injury bug bites, they don't let go. But I didn't care about this match. It's the Super Elite. And they won. They won with the Super BTE Trigger Elite thing, whatever, and they won. And of course they were going to win. This is just a match I just didn't care about because it's the Bucks, and generally I don't care about the Bucks. And I really haven't cared. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly's very good, but I just don't care about these guys. So, cut to Jericho. Jericho and the Jazz Society, and they beat No Santana Ortiz, and Jericho throws a fireball in Eddie Kingston's face. That escalated quickly. You couldn't have done that next week. They're going to do a blood and guts match at possibly, or Street Fight or something. They're going to have to get 2 more people. Get Homicide and Hernandez there. Why the fuck not? I don't know who the fuck else they could get there. People eventually show up. I guess they were just off camera. They were like, shit, we smell fire. Do I smell burning flesh? We should get over there and see what it is. So Rampage, Hook and Danhausen. Hook and Danhausen have a face-off. Sorry, very tired. Jade, Kiera Hogan, and Red Velvet against Willow Nightingale, Trish Adora, and Sky Blue. Okay, Jade maybe won't brain somebody like she did Marina Shafir when she threw her on the table. Jade is not very good in the ring. Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn. Joe versus Trent for the ROH TV Championship. We get a video package, and Samoa Joe. This is the kind of Samoa Joe I like to see. I hope his health, I hope he just can stay healthy at least for another 1.5 to 2 years, however long he's going to wrestle. He is north of 40, and with his injuries, I imagine he probably doesn't have a ton of time left, but goddamn, he's just so smooth on the mic. Dynamite is Deonna Purrazzo versus Mercedes Martinez. Interim versus current women's Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Okay, that'll be interesting. Wardlow versus Big Ass. And then Fish and Jeff Hardy in an Owen Hart qualifier. Hey, look, it's Scorpio Sky with Dan Lambert, the Sheepish Lion Dan Lambert, versus Sammy with Ty. TNT title ladder match. Enough ladder matches. Enough. I love Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky deserved a longer reign than he got. Sammy was getting booed out of the fucking building because people have had it with him. And I'll tell you why I've had it with him. This has nothing to do with what Sammy and Ty do. Whatever. Cheating, all that stuff, whatever. Or whatever cheating didn't happen. I don't care. Sammy has proven that all he wants to do is high spot, high spot, high spot. The no selling and all that stuff. It bothers me more with him because he has actual talent. And he just chooses to be a goddamn daredevil. Well, the human body has its limits, and eventually something's going to happen where he's not going to get back up either as easily or at all. And I don't want that to happen, but he's going to brain himself. He almost did on a freaking, twisting dive. And I'm like, good job, you fucking fuck nugget. You nearly brained yourself. And all these spots in a match were... all these spots in a match nobody is going to fucking remember outside of a few people. Sky catches Sammy in a cutter. They tried to recreate that very nice cutter that Sammy did against Cody in Cody's last match. A barbed wire ladder match. Fuck this. This is exactly what I did. I tore up a piece of paper that I was writing on. I said, fuck that. A barbed wire ladder. That is fucking stupid. That is really fucking stupid. Ty ends up blowing Lambert, and then Van Zandt comes down, and they do very fakey hockey fight punches. Call the tongue police because Ty and Sammy make out. Ty and Paige mount the men, as one of my friends told me, because it was very funny. I'm going to use it here. Another hockey fight. Sammy hits the wire and then pops right back up and gets back up on the thing to get pushed off. When the wire spot would have been just as good. Actually, it would have been better because, oh shit, the heel got that. But nope, he just pops right back up because he's a fucking idiot. Sky gets the victory. Kazarian shows up to shake his hand, and there you go. That's great. Here's the problem. And this is nothing against Sky. I love Scorpio Sky. I hope the Scorpio Sky gets a lengthy TNT title reign. Because the guy's very smooth in the ring. Is he like main event as far as being a world champion? No. But is he somebody that you absolutely could utilize as TNT champion as a great workhorse? Yes, he's very good in the ring. This stuff with Sammy and Ty has just gotten to the point I don't want to see him on my television anymore. I don't care if they get beat up. And Ty, boy, has she regressed massively. Paige Van Zandt, even though, yes, she was doing the fakey punch stuff, and that was very bad camera work, at least Paige seems like she has enthusiasm. Ty doesn't seem like she's doing anything useful at all. She's got a great resting bitch face, I'll say that. So yeah, started great and ended with Sky winning the championship, but to get there, they went through another last stop. Stop with the stipulation matches, ease back. But anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.